OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
This brother, he is raising some serious questions.
He's here to make you think.
What I'm trying to do is get our people to understand that we have been lied to all the way around about our history. Can you name any other group of people, no matter their skin complexion, that are being labeled primarily as the name of two continents? Not two countries, two continents. That is called a misnomer, which is the act of applying a wrong name to some person or thing.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
I want y'all to check out somebody named Dane Calloway.
Dane Calloway?
Look into Dane Calloway. He has a lot of information about how this whole shit was told in reverse. Okay? Where they say, oh, we came from Africa over here. No, a lot of us was already here.
And information that was put together by a man by the name of Dane Calloway, who is also questioning the slave trade. And he's done some remarkable videos on the history of the slave trade in the United States. And he's gone back down the food chain and gone back down the line, and he's realized that a lot of the so-called African Americans in the United States are not African at all. They're actually Native Americans, because the slave trade did not happen the way we were told that it happened.
It's Dane Calloway.
Go and watch this man's channel, man. This dude is phenomenal.
I'm not saying African American because they're not African American. They're the Aboriginals because they were the true Native Americans.
Set it on fire.
They're the copper colored race. Look up Dane Calloway and watch his fucking shows. That man, Dane Calloway on YouTube, oh my God. He is fucking beyond brilliant. The research he does, whoo, he goes way deep into this shit.
Relax and take notes.
It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
All right, mic check. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2. We should be good. We good, right? Where's my chat? There we go. There we go. OCO, how y'all doing tonight? I hope y'all doing well. Want to get up on here, talk about some things that happened already. Bay Area in the building. What's going on, Bay Area? What's going on? OCO. Mystic Drips, thank you for the 12 months. OCO.
Set it on fire.
Cleveland, Ohio in the building. Port Arthur, Texas in the building. California in the building. Kansas City in the building. Southeast DC, Anacostia in the building. Hey, what up? What's good, Slim? FRB, what up? Augusta, Georgia. Sunrise, Texas. Richmond, California. Houston, Texas in the building. What's going on, H-Town? Mississippi in the building. Inglewood in the building. Duval is in the building. ATL in the building. Yeah. Indiana in the building. Heavy, I see you, Indiana. DMV in the building. What up? DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I see you, Alexandria, Virginia. Dallas, Texas, checking in. Phoenix, Arizona. Uh-oh. Y'all in here tonight. Greenville, South Carolina. Philadelphia in the building. Jersey in the building. Philly in the building. Harlem, New York. What's going on? Bahamas in the building. How y'all, Bahamas? I wonder what y'all weather looking like. What y'all weather looking like, Bahamas? Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. New Orleans in the building. Louisiana, I see you. YSL said the whole Midwest. Shout out to the Midwest, huh?
It's up.
Gary, Indiana. Decatur, Florida. Mount Pleasant, Texas. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, I see you, Fayetteville. You up in here heavy, Fayetteville. I see you. Nacktown in the building. Little Rock, Arkansas in the building. Brooklyn in the building. There goes Chi-Town. Chicago in the building. I see you, Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? San Antonio. Vallejo, California in the building. Ohio in the building. Montgomery, Alabama in the building. Augusta, Georgia in the building. San Diego, Cali in the building. Wilmington, North Carolina in the building. Mississippi in the building. Yeah. Stockton, Cali. Greenville, South Carolina. St. Louis, what up? Daytona Beach, Florida, what up? Damn, y'all in here heavy tonight. What's up, Tennessee? Yeah. We up in here. I mean, y'all might as well, hold on, let me. Might as well. Where it's at? Do I still have it? I do. We might as well, right? If you can, drop it in the chat for me, please. Spam the chat up. Let them know we in here. Let them know we in here. It's late night, Saturday night. We're gonna keep it educational. I got a little surprise for y'all. Some of y'all didn't get a chance to see it yesterday, but we gonna make it happen. Yeah. One more time. I want to show y'all something. Keep spamming emojis and flat in the chat. I want to show y'all something. It's pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since we did that. Let me give a round of applause to y'all. Absolutely. Shout out to those of you that are here with me live right now, live and direct right now, baby.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet. He's here to make you think. The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
I will not be debating Dane Calloway.
It's Dane Calloway.
It's up.
All right. So yesterday, I did a segment with the brother Radio Rich over on, I believe his channel is, I know it's 363. Help me, y'all. What is his channel? Was it 363 Magic on YouTube? I believe that's what his channel is called. Am I right? I believe it was 363 Magic, right? Something like that. 363 Empire. Okay, Empire. 363 Empire. Right? The brother Radio Rich showed love. And of course, my brother Topcast came through, right? Now, some of y'all missed this. We were all on camera. I'm about to get ready to play it. Don't worry, you ain't gonna miss it now because it happened yesterday. I feel as though it's only right that, we go over it again. Why not? I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be the only one doing that anyway. And it was just and what's crazy is that how when you get to talking and the conversation be so good, and then you forget that you ain't even get the chance to touch on the topic, you know what I mean? It was one of those, man. And so we definitely doing it again. I had a blast, man. I really did. And shout out to the brother Rich for inviting me on. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. Shout out to his folks over there. They was all showing love and everything and support. Shout out to BCU, by the way, always showing love and support. Yeah, man, that was a great evening. So I wanted to, without further ado, get right into it. Hold up, let me drop it on y'all real quick. Cause we went right in immediately. So those of y'all that missed it, I'm gonna get to it now. Hold up. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Hey, it's saying, hold up. Y'all can hear me, right? Real quick. Let me do a test real quick. Y'all can hear me. We good, right? Two. Loud and clear? Okay. All right. Hold up. So we should be good. All right, I'm gonna bring this down. So what I'm gonna do, here we go. Let me make sure I got it turned up. All right, here we go.
All right, it is that time. It is that time, family. It is that time. A lot of folks, family, friends have waited for. I got this brother that I'm about to introduce on the show tonight, and people have been asking for this show for so long. Oh my God, for so long. And the brother got the internet in an uproar.
Y'all can hear this, right?
And we
good on the audio?
Are in an era where the people of this land are finally figuring out who they are, and it's causing so much controversy. And I want to talk to this brother, especially because he's been talking about this subject for so long. Before
10 years.
Yeah, before it became the popular thing to talk about. And I want to figure out what exactly is this about? Why did he choose to create this channel? Why did he choose to go in this direction? I mean, there's so many things to talk about. We're gonna have a great conversation. We're gonna have a great show. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome to the show the 363 Empire, Dane Calloway, the principal chief, Dane Calloway. Dane, welcome, my brother.
I appreciate that. OCO and OCO to the chat. All right, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Y'all ready? We good. So it's clear, right? Y'all heard everything? All right, good. Levante, thank you for the 40 months. Yeah. He said, talk about Big Chief Pahata. Y'all gonna love this major talking points. A lot of history talk. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, we about to get into it. Lady of G, thank you for being a member 32 months in a row. I appreciate that, Lady of G. Hold up.
It's up.
Hold up. Ricardo been a member for 26 months in a row. He said thumbnail was awesome. Yeah, that thumbnail hot. I'm not gonna lie. That thumbnail was fire. We talking about this though. This ain't no clickbait or nothing like that. You gonna see what we talking about. Oh, it's just me. Been a member for 70 months in a row. Good
Set
grief.
it on fire.
Blue Dreamer been a member for 32 months in a row. I appreciate that, y'all. Look at her. It's still Scorpio season. It is. It's still Scorpio season. Shout out to the Scorpios. It is. I ain't gonna do no hating. It is y'all season. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all season. So Joe, the Color Tone Chief, thank you for the super chats. He said Dublin GA to Winter Haven, Florida. Dublin GA. So Dublin, Georgia to Winter Haven, Florida. Shout out to Georgia and Florida. I appreciate that. Lady of G, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that.
Set it on fire.
Is that Rasul? No, Rasul, thank you for the gifted. I appreciate that. And Todd Johnson, thank you for the gifted as well. And Terrence Smith, thank you for the gifted as well. Antoine Battle been a member for 28 months in a row. Come on now. Nature been a member for 30 months in a row. Come on now. He said we in here. Oh yeah, it's up. It's up now. All right, so look, this is a very good conversation. And like I said, it happened yesterday. Live. and we're gonna be doing more. I can tell you that.
See, your brother Rich, this was long overdue.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't want people to think that I wasn't aware of the brother. I was aware of the brother. I was tied up. It was just, all in divine time. I knew it was going to happen. Eventually, it was going to happen. But at that time, it was wild. It was wild and crazy, and I had to, make sure I crossed all T's and dotted all I's when I was out there. I was on the front line, and I was by myself taking the heat for a lot of things. So based off of what you were saying, yeah, this was a calling for me. It's a difference between me and other people. People are probably doing it for their studies or, some academic reasons, possibly to get more credit for some university or college. No knocking that, but mine was strictly about, wait, huh? Wait, we Indians? Like, I'm learning this from my family members, and I'm like,
set it on fire.
Hold on, so wait, hold on. Let me look into. I'm looking into this along with my family members teaching me and telling me where to go and allowing me to visit other people in my family, and that made me open up my mind more because I was always that type of person in school. I knew history was a lie. I was always questioning my history teachers. I never backed down or bit my tongue or any of that nature. I was more so the one that was going to interrupt the class and say, hey, I got a couple questions about that. Like, how do you know if that's actually true or not? I mean, of course, you can easily regurgitate that information that you're reading from a book that some author wrote that you won't even teach us. You won't even teach us about who this author is, but yet we got to subscribe to their curriculum that they feed us and then have to go do some homework when we get home. I was the type that go against that. And I was always that type of person, especially, as far as the mainstream school curriculum. Still to this very day, here I am combating it. And it just so happened to go viral.
Right. Indeed.
Yeah. No, hold up, y'all. I see it. I'm about to fix it now. Hold up. I'm about to fix it. Give me a second. 1 second. I'm about to turn that down. I know what y'all talking about. All right, I'm turning that down. All right, boom. You should be good now. Yep. All right. Okay. So while that was happening, shout out to CJ. Thank you for becoming a member. Kim Trails, thank you for the super chat. You said thank you for you for sharing this knowledge. I appreciate that. Absolutely, I appreciate that. I'm not gonna stop. We're not stopping. Nikisha, thank you for being a member for 23 months of the road. She said, love this collaboration. It's up. Oh, yeah.
It's up.
Oh, yeah. Terrence, thank you for being a member for 23 months of the road. He said, shout out to the Khans and to Mary. To Mary, some of y'all gonna know that as the original name of America. We'll get into that later. Ace Boone Coon, thank you for the super chat. He said, OCO,
free thinkers.
OCO Ace, what's going on? Terrence, thank you for the gifted. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
No, definitely. Yeah, I remember seeing your stuff years ago, and it just stood out. Your stuff stood out. The way you presented it, and your energy, your voice. We take light of how important the voice is, and your voice played a very important role in how popular your information became. Your voice just carries a certain energy to it, a certain passion that can't be taught. So I got to give a shout out to your voice, my brother. Like, you really put a certain frequency and vibration out there when you do what you do. And I want to welcome to the show also, as me and Dane, me and Dane is just getting acquainted. So I'm kicking it with him, but I got to give a shout out, Top Cats, the Big Chief, legendary Top Cats, just joined us. It's one of them nights, y'all. It is one of them nights.
Ooh, one of them nights. Hey, shout out to everybody out there, man. Man, it's glad to be back in the empire, So as we building these many kingdoms, for years, this been a platform, this been a safe haven for some of the best minds from different eras. And bro, Rich was able to put that together, man, and archive that and document that, and that's gonna be history to live on. And you know, it's just good to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Watching it so long and to actually being here is surreal because I never wanted to do this, never thought about doing it. I was just a fan of the show. So yeah, all praise to the ancestors.
I wanna because I think y'all have something you want to show the people tonight?
Yeah, we gonna do it. We're gonna do a mix of both.
So I wanna ask y'all. Give me a second, service. I wanna ask Dane, since Dane, this is Dane's first time on the show, a couple of questions before we get into the presentation from both of y'all. Dane, I want to ask you, my brother. This is your first time. Why do you think? Just to start out with, why do you think the topic of what you're talking about? I'm reading the comments. I'm looking at everything going on around the world, and there's so many brothers doing what you do, but everybody does it in a different way. But like I said, you stand out because you were doing it, like you said, 10 years ago. I want to ask you, Dane, why do you think when the people of this land talk about what they talk about what you're talking about, why does people call it divisive when if somebody of another land, it could even be the Caribbean, it could be Africa, it could be wherever, if they talk about their land, it doesn't get that term or that label divisive as it does if you or Rod Hayes or Chief Topcats or whoever talks about their history in a particular.
We're the chosen people. Hold on.
Set it on fire.
We're the chosen. Look, hold up. Yeah, tell you what. There's an emoji that we have on the channel, right? If you're a member of the channel, use this emoji and spam the chat with this emoji. We're the chosen. Isn't that in here? Am I right? Don't I have it in here? Don't we have that emoji in here? I could be wrong. Hold up, y'all. Am I wrong? I could have sworn we had that emoji in here, don't we? Or is that in the 13% only? No, it's not in here? Okay, hold up. All right, so I'm wrong, right? I'm wrong. We the chosen. That's only for 13%. All right, I apologize. So tell you what. All right, so since we don't have that emoji in here, right? The emoji that we do have in here is Niji. We got Niji, right? Can we spam Niji? Can we spam 13? Can we spam feathers? I mean, spam feathers, spam bow and arrows. Can we do that? Yes, there we go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Because look, I'm going to tell y'all things are changing. It really is. Things are changing. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. The reason why things are changing is just that time. Man, we've been waiting for so long. Our people been wanting to heal. They been needed this healing. Man, our people needed to heal, brother. And the number one reason why, ancestors, by the way, I don't know why that just happened the way it did. I'm getting passionate because, man, it's been so long. Our people been through so many different things. It's just time now, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about that, man. Oh, man. All right, I'm not going to keep interrupting. I'm just excited that this is happening. I'm proud. Explain that to me, my brother. We're the chosen people. We're the people that they know that what some of them would subscribe to as far as their Bibles or the Quran, whatever one they want to choose, the Torah. It was speaking about us, especially stories that already happened within this landmass that we know to be true, because of course those books that we're referring to have authors that are familiar with what happened here in the Americas. Now, we are the chosen people. They don't want the people that are chosen to acknowledge that they are chosen. Otherwise, things will be totally different here. But yeah, this is a common thing. They want us to subscribe to their ideologies, their indoctrination inside of schools, to keep our minds away from the truth. That's mainly what the agenda is about. To keep our minds away from the truth. This is the reason why I'm just here to make people think for themselves again. because they were taught lies when it comes to who they are, what they represent, and which direction they should go about living their lives on a continuous basis, daily basis. I mean, put some respect on our name. See, a lot of people are copycatting. All of them are. Everybody had to get taught. Okay, and what better people or what better group of people, okay, to learn from other than the indigenous people of a landmass that you're trying to have a residency a part of, in some form of nature, citizenship. Their criterias are different because they're leaving their motherlands and learning a totally different culture here. These people don't know who they are, but they definitely don't want us to know the truth because it exposes them. That's the threat. We're a threat to them. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. It will change.
Indeed.
It will change.
What made you
It's
like?
changing.
I guess your family, but is your family what made you originally get involved in this particular study?
Only my family is the
Hey,
reason
hold
why
on,
I got involved.
Let me jump in real quick.
Yes.
All of us have South Carolina roots.
Branchville. I'm Branchville.
Mine's Florence, South Carolina.
He out of Florence, and my people them come out of the capital.
Yeah, real quick. Shout out to the PD Indians, real quick. Hold on, real quick. I know, man, I'm just saying, man. Shout out to the PD, shout out to the Catawba, shout out to the Cherokee. Let me shout out Annie and Weir. How about that? Shout out to the Wolf Clan, Annie and Weir. How about that one? How about that one? All right, I know. Hold up. Let me fix that really quick. What about now?
Set it on fire.
There you go.
Fire.
All right. I got it fixed now. Okay. Anthony, thank you for the 5 gifted. Let's go.
Yeah, the capital of
what up, South Carolina?
Dope. Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. Dane, I was telling Top Cats, he influenced me to look into my family tree.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate your brothers what y'all do. And I want to ask you this, Dane, why do you think even myself and a lot of other people, I chose to study, let's say, ancient Egypt before I even study my roots?
Right.
Why do you think we're more interested in
other countries than our own
roots? Because that's
the school system.
It took me a while to say, nigga, study your own roots. So go ahead.
That's the school system all wrapped up into the political system as well. Because see, politically, during the 1960s is when they were pushing the blackity black, pro-black this, pro-black that. You saw groups of people getting together for a different cause. We thought it was the righteous cause. We thought it was for equal rights. Prior to that, we were fighting for civil rights. So if civil rights isn't equal, then what's the point of both?
Oh, hold up. Think about it. If civil rights wasn't equal, then what's the point of both? What was the point? What was their main agenda? I want people to think about that, because if we were fighting for those things and we still didn't receive it, because where's the verification that we have equal rights and civil rights? Verification. Where is it? This is not a game. When it comes to what happened to our people, I stand firm on everything that I ever publicly presented. And it's unfortunate that we went, different ways, man, just trying to do the right thing. Some of our people in the past tried to do the right thing. But the problem was, there was a lot of other people out there, okay?
that were doing the wrong thing and disguising themselves as if they were for us, like disguising themselves as if they were one of us. They had our best interests in mind, and unfortunately, okay, and it has to get called out, and it's just so happened that, it's my generation that will call out the BS from the last generation so we can move forward. That's all. It's not to cause no animosity or separation, no form of division. It's to get over the hump, find out what the issues were, call them out, fix them so we can have a better future. It's that simple. That's what I would want. Wish Aquila
is up.
Big bomb. She came up in here with a big bomb. I love your fam, but the divide in the community needs to stop. It needs to stop with the big guns. I was just saying this. That's crazy. We not to break the foolishness in our community. The ones who are fighting for the folks need to be on the same page, talk to each other despite differences. I agree. I fully agree. But see, the thing is that, okay, let me answer the family's question. It's not even a question, it was a statement, but I have another side to that. It's more about, even if we try to bring the people along, that have differences with what, for example, what we are setting the stage for, they have to get over themselves. They have to humble themselves in order to realize that not everybody knows everything. That's a given. Not everybody knows everything. Not everybody has the answer to everything. I mean, once we come to that conclusion, you know what I mean? We could probably move to the next step, which will be separating the real from the fake. Because at that point, you would know the real from the fake. All right, we know what we got to do for our people as a whole. In order for us to unify, we have to have common. I hate to use the word common because the way it is now, it's just not. It has a negative connotation to it, so I don't want to say common. It's more. Matter of fact, let me disregard that entire message because it's deeper than just unifying with all people. It's about unifying with the right people, with the same mindset. Okay, and not everybody, even if they share the same skin complexion as you and I, not everybody's going to be on that same page. Unfortunately, that's just how society is. That's why I said we only need 13% of the population of our people. Okay, and then everybody else will follow suit once they have an idea of which direction they need to go in. So we do set the trends by setting examples. So we're providing the community examples of how we should go about it. All right. It's not about fighting each other. It's about those other people, fighting themselves. They're fighting their own egos. Their egos eat them alive. It's not about that for us. It's not about that with me. It's beyond a person's individual ego. It's beyond what, they suffer from, which most of them suffer from confirmation bias. They have no idea. They just want to believe that, what was already confirmed to them in the past, that's the absolute truth. And that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to have control over your own mindset. And that expands into building communities. The reason why we clashing heads is because everybody got an idea that's cool, but not everybody's idea is great. Just like everybody can have a mic. That's great, but not everybody should be on a mic. That's not what their duty is. Only a certain few. Let's be real here. It's only a certain few. You do what you're called to do. You do what you're destined to do. You don't make up a story and make up a lie and put on a costume and cosplay that you somebody that you're not. That's not how it works. You may think it works that way because a lot of rappers out there lying about their lives, and the saying is fake it until you make it, but that's not real life because a lot of people faking it. And are they making it? I mean, I'm just speaking in general. These people out here, see, again, we got to set the trends by setting the right examples. And that's what we've been doing. That's why so many people that will act like they're against us.
when really they just are confused. That's it. They're just confused. They don't know. And it's great that they don't know. I encourage the fact, because I didn't know. Why would I beat you down because you don't know? I didn't know. No, I'm here to help you understand, because it's not about believing. It's about knowing. There's a big difference. Believing is, like having faith in the unforeseen. That's like similar to saying, Jesus, take the wheel, right? But when it comes to your identity, you know what I mean? When it comes to your identity, this is something that's set forth that, the Creator already put in front of you. That was up to you to accept it. That's not up to individuals who are considered foreigners to tell you who you are, when the Creator left it right on you. And you fighting, and whole time it go right back to Indian, and you ain't never feel that you were connected to them Africans. You like, wait a minute, why they keep slapping the label on me like I'm African? Then turn right around and now y'all calling each other black, which ain't got nothing to do with somebody on this land. Which ain't got nothing to do with nobody on this landmass. That's not even referring to a people. That's not even referring to a group of like a race. It's not referring to a race of people. That's a misnomer. A social construct. That's something that the government created so they could label you and recognize that as somebody right there that we won't ever recognize. We will bypass that person. We're going to label them black. We won't ever have to see them nor hear them. These terminologies are working against us that they created. I'm here to help people understand what we need to correct so we can have a better future. I'm not about dividing the people. I'm not here saying, you won't ever hear me say, oh no, we need to be against the Africans. We need to be against the whoever. I never said that. I never said that. I told you we all have a common enemy. I told you that. We all have a common enemy, no matter your skin complexion. And I also said that the enemy comes in various skin complexions. My stance has never changed. I didn't change not one time. For nobody. For no reason. No matter what they will say to try to entice. I know better than that, because it's nothing like doing your own research versus basing it off of somebody else's word. I am the nosy type. I want to know. I want to know for sure. I'm that type. And then she donated again. Hold up. You said, I got you. We're on the same page. However, we have to fight for each other. But everyone would have to do their part, not just the big gun. In person, every individual in real life. I'm talking to you all in the chat. We are the chosen. Much love. I agree. People will have to do their part. They have to look in the mirror and talk to themselves and figure it out. What is it that what is it that you're supposed to be here doing? The only people that are going to know that are you and the Creator. That's between you and the Creator. The ancestors are there to guide you. What I mean by that is that whatever it is that you want to do, you have a whole army beside you to help. So nothing is impossible. If they could do it, you could do it. If they could do it, we could do it. Nothing is impossible when it comes to what we want to achieve. Let me summarize that with it, or let me direct aim that, narrow that down some, because I know certain people gonna say certain things about that, but no, it's when it comes to what we want to achieve. Somebody will say the sky is the limit. How? When we know we could go higher in the sky. It depends on what you consider the sky. Stop having limits. Don't limit yourself.
Don't dumb yourself down. Don't submit. That's what religion was doing, trying to make you submit. To who? To what authority? God ain't tell you to bow down to him. That's them folks that wrote them books that said that. I gotta have a better relationship with God. You already have a great relationship with God. God is in you. Just have a better relationship with yourself. Then God is revealed. Woo! Tall! Then God is revealed. As soon as you have a better relationship with yourself, God is revealed. Talk to me, bruh. Hey, and I'm only speaking from experience. This may not be for everybody. Some people may feel as though that's wrong. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's right and exact. That's right and exact. It's about you. To go back to what the family was saying about saying, that person was, talking to the people in the chat about everybody doing their part. Everybody got to play their role. Not everybody can be leaders, but just know there is a job for you to do. Everybody got to play their part. If we all play our part and then come together on one accord in that note, we're untouchable. I'm talking about in the uniform sense, we're untouchable. I am a dude from Mississippi. Laugh out loud. Oh, did I say female? Oh, look, I apologize. Well, shout out to you, brother.
It's up.
I love my people so much. I want to hear. I just want every one of us to remember ourselves. I agree. We all do. We all do. I agree. I agree. Big T, thank you for becoming a member. And thank you for the super chat as well. You said I appreciate you, Big Chief from Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Since 2015, I appreciate that. All right, come on, y'all. See, you didn't, come on, man. You didn't make me start. I mean, same thing, it correlated. We talk about life. This is us anyway. You should question both. Something was wrong with them, okay? Because we weren't at the head of neither movement, okay? They had people who were not even from these land masses at the head of these movements. And it was integrated already. Notice how they were saying it's a white problem, white man problem. SNCC and LCLC and, even with I'm talking about SNCC, the one that started it. Even the Black Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party of 1963. Yeah, 63. They had 64. People who were, white skin or whatever you want to call it, Caucasian, on their team, on their organization, within their organization. Same thing with SNCC and LLC.
SCLC.
And many other civil rights movements. Even the Black Panther Party, look at them. Like their original logo was black and white, fists coming together. Fist. Yeah. The original logo. And then they had the Black Panther as their logo after that. And then SNCC adopted that and they ran with the Dixiecrats and the political thing threw us off on top of the school curriculum. I have the documentary of my research where I'm referring to what I'm talking about right here is called The Breach of the Civil Rights Movement. You could go back on my channel and literally type that in, The Breach of the Civil Rights Movement, and watch that whole segment. I go into detail on that part where I'm just referring to. Everybody wanted to feel proud about something, and it shouldn't have been a word. It should have been the people. We associated ourselves with that word because of what? Our skin complexion? What is the reason why? Because all of us are different shades of the color brown. There's no one black. This hoodie is black. My skin is not that same color. My hair is black. My skin complexion is not that same color. You got to know that was a political status placed upon us to do us wrong, to do us in, so we won't go further. I feel as though those movements of the 1960s served a purpose, but it wasn't in our favor.
Okay. Now, to get more information on the terms black and white being a social status or political status, like whichever one you want to choose, it's a governmental status. The documentary is on my channel called, I believe it's called something along the lines of The Untold Truth About the Terms Black and White or something like that. Black and White is going to be in the title. Black and White is going to be in the title.
do you look at these movements as it was good sometimes? And the reason why I ask you this is because sometimes we can look at the past from a present perspective and be critical, but we didn't know what it was like growing up in that during that time, so we missed the whole point. Give a case
in some cases.
In some cases, okay. Yeah.
In some cases, yes, I would agree, but it's no excuse for the people of the 1960s. Those people are still with us.
Mm-hmm.
They're just the elders.
Right.
And unfortunately, I know people gonna think that I'm taking a shot at the elders, and you goddamn right I am. You wrong. You've been wrong for a while. So when you see younger brothers like me come up and I'm telling you, hey, I have more information and I'm showcasing it throughout all of my videos as to the reason why I went viral, you should pay attention. Stop thinking that you know everything when you didn't even have the internet access back then as you would today. Well, no, we had libraries and books. Yeah, and so do we. What makes you think that that's the only source of information? No. And, you know, some of them needed to humble themselves, but they were so, you know, hypocritical in their movements and their speeches. And then everybody wanted to be Afro studies this and Pan-African studies that. And yeah, it made it look good. Our women flocked to that, made themselves, you know, wear their afros. And they look, you know, don't get me wrong, they look beautiful, you know, but dashikis came from where? Like, what tribe? Are you trying to say that everybody wore that same thing? Like, come on, people didn't put that together. Afro sheen in our hair and all the rest of that stuff. We don't even know where this stuff came from. We just assuming that our people had control over these merchandising and opportunities of coming together to go towards the government to fight for what? It didn't do anything. All that marching, all them holding signs for equal rights and equal employment and all the rest of that. Like, they just got rid of DEI and you thought that was for your benefit. And it wasn't. Now what? It's hard for you to believe what Dane Calloway is saying, but yet you still don't even see the results from what they were promising years ago. But yeah, I got backlash for what I was doing because it was against the norm. I'm not the normal type. I'm not the type that's gonna, you know, roll with the trends, for example, or, you know, go with the commonly known information, what's commonly adopted to say, yeah, that's what we know to be best. That's what we're gonna run with. So yeah, I'm challenging the narrative. I'm controversial in a way, but I'm educational. Really, I'm more so about you knowing the truth. I'm a truth seeker and a free thinker. Can't nobody control how I think. But it's a lot of people out there who are suffering from that very point. Right. Unfortunately, because of how they were raised. That has to change, and it is changing. It is.
Dane, I want to know something that, like I said, this is the first time I have the opportunity to interview. One of the things I've heard, you know, rumors, you can't really follow rumors because
now see the reason why, and look, and let me explain something real quick. The reason why I'm doing that is I wasn't taking a shot at all elders. It was the ones that was coming at me, because some of y'all may recall when I was stepping onto the scene, it was a whole lot of them that disagreed with me. That was fine, right? But when the hate didn't work, they start telling lies, and that's what I didn't like. Like, what was the point of lying about me? Because you couldn't combat the information that I was putting out. Like, from an adult perspective, like if you're supposed to be elder this, elder that, you still looking like a child. You still acting like a child. So at that point, you a child to me. My mind is, you know, beyond you at this point. Like, I was really, you know, turning the other cheek to so many different battles that was trying to happen amongst me, but they wasn't in condition to present themselves in an adult manner where I could respect them, to the point where we say, okay, let's have, and I still challenged them and told them to come onto my channel. Everybody, well, I'm not doing no debate, and everybody ran. Okay. Everybody ran. They did not want to come on my channel. They was like, no, this nigga he put up records for real. We not messing with him, because ain't no telling what he got in the cut. And I could embarrass each and every one of them if they come out and say anything that I got and that I'm familiar with and I got the evidence on, and I'm throwing it up. Nah, bruh, like, you know, but see, that was, again, that I progressed from that. And you see how I had to explain myself? And what I mean by explain it was to let them know that I'm not dancing around that topic. They should have been held responsible. Who else is going to be holding these elders accountable for something that they did wrong? And it's academically, like, or whatever, educationally, whatever you want to. It's not I'm coming at them individually. It's the fact that I'm coming at what they were teaching. They were wrong, God damn it. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, straight up. Now they giving me my props. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, 10 years? I bet, what you mean? Like, what? So, yeah, I had the right to say what I said. And I stand firm on that. What you mean? Like, ain't nothing going to change about how you got to, in order for me to, you know, look at you as elder, you got to earn my respect first. Just like I got to earn yours, you still got to earn mine. No matter what your age say. Age ain't nothing but a number, remember? Well, hold on. Not the R. Kelly. I ain't trying to do we ain't talking about that. I'm talking about as far as when it comes to processing information. Listen, processing information, right? Just because I'm younger than you don't mean I can't research, okay? Let's simplify things here before somebody try to twist and turn what I said. People love doing that. Nah, let's get straight to the point, okay? Nah, yeah, we talking about some, you know, folks that want to claim that they're elder based off of their age. Not saying that they didn't do any work, but the work that they have been doing was wrong. And there's nothing wrong with me calling them out on that point. And especially when they didn't want to combat what I presented, because they knew they would fall short at the tail end of that. Period. They know better. I said to myself, all right, I'm going to take my time, still put out more information. Then I'll start, you know, popping out again, doing it again. This time around, it's going to be different. The reason why is because I got more work up under my belt. They was coming at me as soon as I stepped on the scene. I was like, damn, ain't even give me an opportunity to explain. But nah, again, I appreciate this, Brother Rich. I appreciate that because this is, again, you know, it was needed. And I'm gonna be doing more of this. Y'all gonna see. And he a good brother on top of that.
But one thing I always hear about you is people say, yo, Dane say Harriet Tubman's story is fake. I want to hear from you directly, Dane. What exactly have you found out through your research about Harriet Tubman? Because I hear so many stories about things you say that's about Harriet Tubman, about this, about that. I want to know what exactly have you found out about Harriet Tubman that you can share with my channel today?
By the way, I do have documentaries out on this, and I also have a book out called False Heroes, False Hopes. And all the documents that I've gathered are in that book, page by page. I'm not playing. I gathered records to verify that she is a fictional character, not just by way of word of mouth or somebody claiming that they related to somebody of prominence. That's how you know something is fake. That's just like me saying, oh, I'm related to Batman. Just because you know of Batman, that don't make it true, you know. Hold up. I am related to Batman. I keep telling y'all, look, I told y'all think I'm
Set it
playing.
on fire.
Y'all think I'm playing. I told you I was related to Batman. But people didn't verify any of that when they didn't even verify what her name was. Now, as far as the story is concerned, it could be tied to someone, you know, some truthfulness, but just like movies and books, yeah, they're going to give you fictional characters that could be based on real characters, but they're giving you fictional characters. No, these people are not real. Harriet Tubman was created by an act of Congress. Sarah Bradford of Geneva, Switzerland. She's not from, you know, they're trying to state now that she's from New York and stuff like that. Based off of my stuff going viral, that's why they're trying to change the story every 5 years. But no, she's from Geneva, Switzerland. We still have the documents of that, and they admitted that in the court records, by the way. Created the story of Harriet Tubman. And still to this very day, her family and her lawyer, in which I can't remember his name right offhand, I don't have that in front of me, are still receiving funds from that. They get paid for that. All of that stuff about Harriet Tubman, books and movie wise, that's not going to Harriet Tubman's family. That's not going to the people that will say that they're kin to Harriet Tubman. No, it's going directly to the people that created that story. And I dare the statement that I just made is so powerful because I have endless research on this and put this out. And I show people what I just stated right there. That part right there cannot be debunked. That's a promise. That's a promise. And it's not like I was going in there looking for people to be fake. I just so happened to stumble upon that. When I had Harriet Tubman and in that Turner situation, I was like, what? Why would they do that? And I investigated that. Like, why would they lie? And then I showed you why they lied. And see, that'd be the next question that somebody have. Why would they create a hero? And I'm like, wait, what makes you think they a hero? Hold on, hold on, I'm jumping, hold on.
What reason, Dane, would they have to give us a
money?
Hero? Because no, Dane, hold on now. If you study the history of Hollywood, they don't give us heroes. They don't give us people to look up to, aspire to. They give us people that keep us in a certain state of degeneracy and slave-like mentality. So what would they give us the story of a Harriet Tubman or a Nat Turner for?
Will we consider Harriet Tubman a hero?
In that time, yes. For somebody who helped slaves escape, don't hands down, Dane. Anybody who was moving like the story, I'm just saying according to the story.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm listening.
Anybody who was moving like how she was moving, I want to fuck with a sister like that.
You got to question how she's moving. If she's coming from a side of Maryland and she's been a slave, according to this story, has not been off of the plantation, how does she know her way to Canada? And then come back and get more slaves? Stop. I'm gonna let that sink in. I'm gonna let it sink in. That's according to the story. Y'all have to understand how critical that is, because you filling in the blank by way of conceptualism, okay? They do this on purpose in American history, on purpose. This is not the only time. This is not the only time. They have, and I caught them on so many occasions of their common pattern, and it's just so happened that Harriet Tubman was one of them. It was just unfortunate. I was not looking for her to be fake. It just so happened that I discovered that she was. I was pissed, just like anybody else would be, especially Nat Turner. I was mad. I was down there, mad. I was like, I came out here, or at least I get to see Jerusalem. Shit. Anyway, hold on, let me keep going. Come on. At that time, GPS wasn't there, cell phone, no line of communication. Oh, she just ran into somebody that, at that point, they want you to fill in the gaps. It's conceptualism. That's what that is. They want you to fill in the gaps to make believe that the story is true. There's no way that she was able to do that. Get away from Maryland, number one, and know her way to what? A train station to get all the way up to Canada? Right. Please. Right. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, the reason why I'm saying that is because you got to think about that. Maryland is huge. How is she going to leave Maryland if she ain't never been off the plantation? Who was her contact? Who helped her get to Kent? Y'all got to understand. None of that was answered. Like, that's a big gap. They just skipped to the part that she went to Canada and they came back and got her family member. Man, bro, what? Is she on foot? Come on. And remember in the movie, they were showing no shoes and all that.
She got her skirt on, hold it up, running. Man, stop.
He was able to do that. Because if she was able to do that, so were other people. And tell me their names.
Woo! Hey, look, if she was able to do that, so would other people. See? That's another point. Now, this is even before I even get to the paperwork. Behind that, if I'm showing you the paperwork in which you can go check, everything is public. Everything is public. I'm not playing. I showed you my shit. So I got the right to talk about it because I already did the research. Again, if she was so duly noted, what them other folks that did that, male and female? If it was so easy for her, and then they turned around and said she don't know how to read and write. If it was so easy for her, where other people at? You talking about Maryland? Maryland is a big state. She left from Maryland to Canada, skipping states. Who was her contact and she was always on the plantation? Who helped her? She got cool with everybody she met as she ran? Please tell me how. Anybody can come over and see that's how they do it. That's conceptualism. They make you fill in the blank. They want you to use your imagination. That's a trance. That's dropping you in a trance. That's a magic trick. They do that in books and movies. They make you believe in the character. Oh my goodness. Y'all gonna learn. It's unfortunate. They do that in history books as well. Keep in mind, I'm Batman.
Right. But once
they
again,
should be duly noted as well.
Psychologically, what's the purpose of making her the hero? Do you think personally?
They made her a hero. False heroes, false beliefs, false hope. Same thing with Nat Turner. Nat Turner was created by Thomas Ruffin Gray. He borrowed that story from the Richmond Whig, and I show people that the Richmond Whig newspaper, the alias was Turner. He created the alias in the act of Congress. Turner wasn't even his last name.
Stop.
Again, that was a story that was.
Stop. That's very important. Hold on, go back. Thomas Ruffin Gray. He borrowed that story from the Richmond Whig, and I show people that the Richmond Whig newspaper, the alias was Turner. He created the alias in the act of Congress. Turner wasn't even his last name. Stop. It's an alias. Thomas Ruffin Gray admitted in the paperwork that I showed you, which was the act of Congress, that Turner was an alias. That means that was not his last name. Thomas Ruffin Gray created that. So how are you related to Nat Turner? Let's see how people be lying. I'm the 5th descendant, 6th. You always want to attach yourself to, like I said, I'm related to Batman. You always want to attach yourself to somebody of prominence, like you kin to somebody. Like, no, Turner not even his last name. Like, stop it. Like, y'all know, y'all see, they gave it to you when you wasn't looking, and I showed you what I was looking at. Again, I wasn't going and looking at, the fact that these folks was fake. I wasn't looking for that. I was trying to verify all stories. I'm like, hold on, he hid away with the Nottoway Indians? And y'all not killing him? I mean, y'all not saying that he an Indian? He hid with the Nottoway Indians. And you not saying that he an Indian? I'm like, nah, hold on, let me see what they doing. And as soon as I investigated that, I'm like, hold up, no, they didn't. They sure did. Yes, they did. Thomas Ruffin Gray was a gambler, okay? And he needed to create a book in order to sell his book because he had to pay off his debt that he owed because he liked to gamble at casinos. This is documented. He was throwing his money away. He borrowed, and when I say borrowed is because he actually got called out by a couple other newspapers that I showed you. A couple other newspapers said that story wasn't true. They was banning his book from being sold and everything. Like, nah, this ain't true. Whole time, but he got it from the Richmond Whig. I showed you the actual newspaper. The whole one, matter of fact, not no clipping, nigga. The whole jump. Then zoomed in on the article to let you know when that story was first created. And he took that and then put Turner on it and said it was his and made a book. It was called a pamphlet.
a pamphlet, a pamphlet. And I showed you that. Like, all of that stuff is documented. Everything that I'm saying is documented. It's crazy. I know y'all gonna be like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm not playing. Yeah, Duval said he related to her. Yeah, again, I'm related to Batman. I'm trying to tell you, I got the look, the Batmobile was outside. Y'all want to hear the button? That thing gonna start up and start whistling. Hold on, let me keep going. Again, that was a story that was inside of the Richmond Whig in order for people to stop rebelling. They're trying to tell people, hey, this person was able to kill 70 people and his head got chopped off, as an example. I'm paraphrasing. But they're trying to scare people who are going to read those newspapers into stop rebelling rather, and stop revolting. But that's what his story was about. Harriet Tubman's. Again, it was the false hope into thinking that you were able to get out of your contracts, your indentures rather, indentured servitude for free, like just by running away. If that was the case, everybody would have ran away. But yet we only hear certain things that are duly noted. Few here, few there, when it's what? Thousands of people of us, of our skin complexion in every state. It was thousands of us then in every state back then. We would be hearing more than 5 or 6. Right. They weren't making sense. It wasn't lining up. All of this was for tourist attractions. The number 2 money maker in America is tourist attractions. Ooh. The tourist trail for Nat Turner's, when I caught them, this is the reason why they don't have it. But shout out to Southampton, Virginia, is because I got down there and tracked them down and stopped them right in their tracks to show you that they were taking which Federalist house and, they making it up, trying to say that, Nat Turner killed this particular family in this house. They're going to move it to this location. All of this is on camera. And I ain't lying. All of this is on camera. Am I stating facts? I got all of it on camera. And I even showed you Rebecca's house. They was trying to make the Rebecca's house. Make it in a way. They were trying to make the Rebecca's house. They were trying to choose between 2 shotgun houses. Remember I showed you? And then they relocated them. And then when I got down there, the one where they relocated wasn't at the location it was supposed to be at. I stopped them in their tracks. The trail, I showed you where the trail was going to be. I showed you the trail. I showed you where it was going to be located. They just ain't think nobody was going to be ahead of them. And I just so happened to be on top of that at that time. And, I was like, wow, since I'm here, since I'm here, I stopped them in their tracks. Of course, I could have did the same thing with Harriet, but they moved so quickly. I just so happened to stumble upon Nat Turner's information. I wasn't looking for these people not to be real. Right. It just so happened that I was doing my investigation and shit wasn't adding up. And I'm looking like, where they at? Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, this is the reason why. But yeah, they had tourist attractions set up for Nat Turner, and Harriet Tubman is still making money off of each book that come out about her and movie. And it's not her family, it's Sir Bradford's estate. Interesting. That's it. Yeah, it's Sir Bradford's estate. Man, I'm trying to tell you. But our people gonna learn. See, this is not the reason why I can't knock them, because they're trying to learn. Our people trying to do, but that's why I said I even got, backlash from the elders then, the so-called elders then, about that when I put that stuff out. And it went viral twice. And the second time, I wasn't even expecting for it to go viral. I just showed you more information that I got. Then I went live and showed the records. I was like, look, y'all thought I was playing? It was a lot of people there that night. That live stream, I was super tired. I'll never forget it. I'm talking about tired. I was very tired that night and still did that live stream. I'll never forget that. And but that live stream was fire, and I was throwing them records up, man, on live, man. This ain't no cat. I was not playing. And nobody, still to this very day, nobody gonna be able to debunk that. Not with the records right there. Not with the records right there. You can't do it. Like, if I'm talking shit and don't show no receipts, then yeah, you got, but when I'm showing receipts, you got a problem.
Man.
I'm so glad. Oh, 1 second. Let me because this was a long time coming, Top. Look, give me about 10 more minutes with that.
I told Dane already. I told him before we came in. I said, Dane.
I know you got the presentation. Y'all gonna go in. But yeah,
I told him. I said, hey man,
Dane, I'm so grateful because I'm like, I gotta ask Dane this face to face. I said, I seen clips and I seen people say things. I was like, yo, I gotta ask Dane this face to face.
They never prove a thing when I have, and I dare people to prove me wrong with evidence. I dare them. It's gonna be hard. I paid an arm and a leg for this research. I
stop right there.
Dare you, no matter.
Stop. Paid. I paid for the records. None of this was free. That's another thing. The traveling is not free. None of that is free. This is not a game for me. I don't play no games, bro. I put that money up to get that research. I don't play no game. I'm not popping up and using, Google as my source. It don't work like that with me.
No matter who you are, I dare you to prove that she real. I dare you to prove that he real. Please. I dare you. Throw it out there. Anybody that's listening, anybody that got the funds to research what I research, and I showed you my documents, show me yours.
Dane, what about Frederick Douglass and other people we hear about?
Frederick Douglass is real. I already did my documentary on Frederick Douglass. They made up a lie saying that I said Frederick Douglass wasn't real. I never said that. I said Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman only. That's it. But they were trying to, stretch the issue that they were having when, when the hate don't work, they start telling lies.
You know what? Another thing is this. What I also told them was that when they were showing us earlier pictures of Nat Turner, okay, they changed this, but I documented this twice. I have videos of this on my channel confirming that Google was not to be trusted. The reason why is because when you typed in Nat Turner, they were showing you pictures of a young Frederick Douglass. And that was another time it went viral. And then it was people that wasn't even content creators posting videos on YouTube verifying what I was saying. They like, damn, they ain't not playing. And they did it, a couple of them did it on camera and posted it on YouTube and showed that I wasn't playing. It was Google showing you that Frederick Douglass was Nat Turner. That thing, love for Israel, I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. You said for the love and support, I appreciate that. That's a different currency. Damn, whose currency is that, y'all? That's Europe. Ain't that Europe? Damn, I think so, ain't it? Yeah, it is, right? Here for the cause and the reason within your pain, strength, and mental. I appreciate that. Wait, hold on. Y'all talking hold on. Wait, I missed something. Hold on. Let me go back. Y'all said sometimes. Sometimes I hate that I took the Bible so serious as a kid. It made me overly. Oh, no. However, my parents made me keep my family first. Y'all are family. Okay, look. Now, don't knock it. Look, again, this is not a channel where I'm going to be knocking you for basically what you went through. You know what I mean? It's about progression. What you went through is what you went through. You take it and learn from it and you move forward. That's not a loss. That's a lesson. That's a lesson. Lesson learned. You kept it pushing. You see how you family oriented now? You know what I mean? Don't knock yourself like that. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody doing that. I don't promote that at all. Don't beat yourself up. This is not about that. This is about correcting those mistakes. Once you recognize that you made a mistake, correct it. Don't keep dwelling on it and, you know what I mean, thinking, shit gonna change just because you dwelling on it. Nah, keep it pushing. All right, you made a mistake right there. Boom, next step. Let's make sure that don't happen again. You know what I mean? So I don't ever want anybody knocking themselves for nothing. That's not what this is about. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't deserve that. That's not even how you learn. Like, I understand certain people used to be like that. Like, come on, how you not gonna get it? It's right there in front of you. I get it. I be feeling like that too. Like, come on, y'all. But don't take it like, you need to be beating yourself up because you just not getting it. It's just that certain people wake up at certain times. All people wake up at different times. Okay? This is the reason why I continuously do this. I continuously become people's alarm clock. Just because of that. Once you get it, you know, and it's right in your mindset, and it's right in, you know what the goal is, you feel it in your heart, you know what you got to do for yourself individually to uplift yourself, higher frequency. Can't nobody take that from you. Because it's not about anybody else or what anybody else thinks. It's really not. It's about you. This is your life. You dictate and determine. You know? You want it to go what way? All right, we'll make it that way. The ancestors right there is your support. We right here is your support. The Niji right here. That's how we get on one accord. And then look, if we got that many individuals thinking just like that, they became one with themselves. Do you know how powerful we become? No matter the skin complexion, you know how powerful we'll become? You talking about what? Everybody moving on one accord for real. At that point, they're in the right mindset. See, people consider the world evil. It's not the world, it's the people. It's all in how they think. That's why I'm here. This is my main objective. I'm just here to make people think. You see what I'm saying? I'm not doing this for no, malicious cause. This ain't got no secret agenda behind it. I'm not worshiping some goddamn devil or Baphomet or anything. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not with no secret society. I'm not with nobody but me and y'all and my family and the creator. I got who I need around me. You know what I mean? And so do you. And start giving the worship and praise to yourself. How about that? What's wrong with that? What law you breaking? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're supposed to have that type of confidence in yourself anyway. I love you like a brother. And you see how I talk to y'all like my, like family. This me. This is how I talk. I'm this way on camera, off camera. I'm gonna talk just like this, even when you don't want to hear it. Huh? Let me not go there, but even when you don't want to hear it, you gonna hear it. I had to hear it too. It's about progression. Don't be ashamed of who you are, and don't be ashamed of what you're becoming. It's all you doing is becoming who you are. Ain't nobody take that from you.
Dane, all right, so let me ask this, Dane. According to your research, I've talked to the Moors, Isaiah, shout out to Isaiah, Rod Hayes, shout out to Rod Hayes. A lot of people involved in this similar movement. And there's this consensus that the slave trade was exaggerated. We didn't all come from Africa.
Greatly, yeah.
So I want to hear your perspective about the lies being told about us coming from Africa or it being exaggerated. Tell me about
the slave trade was real, but the slave trade did not happen the way that we were told. Yeah. Like, we didn't come from Africa. Some of our ancestors were sent to Africa.
Hold up. It's saying, I'm sorry, hold on. Y'all got me? We good? It looked like YouTube was having an issue. We good? We good, chat? I'm gonna come back 10 seconds. Does it look like it was having an issue? We good? Okay, loud and clear. All right. Joshua, thank you for being a member for 36 months. Miss Kenny, been a member for 50 months in a row. I appreciate that. Yamasi Elder, thank you for becoming a member.
But the slave trade did not happen the way that we were told. Yeah. Like, we didn't come from Africa. Some of our ancestors were sent to Africa. Certain parts of West Africa were not populated. I have a whole book out on this called It Was Told in Reverse. The Untold Truth About the Transatlantic Slave Trade Story. It wasn't even the transatlantic slave trade. What they're referring to is the story of the Middle Passage. Because keep in mind, there's no such thing as transatlantic when you can't travel straight across the Atlantic with the ocean gyres sitting in the ocean. The ocean gyres are like tornadoes in the water that will sink you into a hole. You can't do that. Scientifically speaking, that's impossible. And then you have the coral reefs on the coast of each coast. So how did you travel to Africa when today, by way of a boat, what they're going to call a slave ship, which was a cargo ship, today, to this very day, it will take upwards of 90 days or more for you to travel in one direction to Africa still to this day. So what makes you think they were able to cut straight across back then? Impossible. But yeah, that's what they were lying about. Now, the routes that were documented are the ones that I'm referring to simplify things by way of the American Colonization Society. At that time, we talking 1800s. Yeah, they were sending people to the west coast of Africa, but the ones that wanted to go, the majority of those people that left were volunteers, and the majority of them were pastors and priests and some chiefs of particular tribes that were subscribing to a religious belief. And that was their religious belief. They wanted to go over there and start a civilization, and this was their way to freedom. I'm not denying that didn't happen at all. I'm telling you that's what happened. That ain't got nothing to do with them bringing Africans over here. The Africans came way later, 1900s, and I showed them that. Prior to that, it was nothing but what we would call people from the Caribbean or Caribbean islands, back and forth. And those would be our closely related people. Those would be our, if you ain't Indian, you ain't from here.
Yeah, I hear people.
Hey y'all, YouTube is doing something, y'all.
Who say,
y'all know.
Okay, so the whole Caribbean thing, like I hear people say, the people in New Orleans, that's the culture from Haiti, I believe. What's the relationship between, and even America in general? I hear people comparing Haiti and America a lot. What's the relationship between Haiti and America?
As far as what is concerned, like meaning, like, those are our cousins? Is that what you?
Are we one and the same? Are we?
I mean, everybody's of different tribes. Everybody's a different people. Because they're different land masses and the way they, have different cultures and practices and beliefs. I'm not saying that we're all the same people, but I know it's going to be some people out there that's saying that it's only one people. But you got to understand that it's multiple different peoples. People,
different tribes, different families
in a particular landmass because of how they live. They inhabit that land differently from others. Like, we're not one and the same just because we share the same skin complexion. It doesn't work like that.
Top Cats, what you showing? What was you showing me, Top Cat?
Oh, nah, just right here in the Indian Bible, I'm not black, I'm Indian, miseducation. We actually have chapter 6 is the Underground Railroad is an American Indian story. In here, pertaining to the topic that we were speaking about, we show all of the routes that they call the Underground Railroad were actually Indian routes. And right here on page 71, we have our dear sister Harriet Tubman, which is not a real name. So a lot of people that jumped out there should have understood that her name is not Harriet Tubman. But as we go through the sources real quick, 1668 biography, Tubman stated Tubman had made about 19 journeys into Maryland, got upwards to 300 people out of enslavement. Harriet Tubman rescued over 300 people, so I bring you to Harriet Tubman, the reference guide of her life by Kate Clifford Lawson, and we go to the indentured servant. Harriet Tubman's brother, Robert Rouse, had two sons, John Rouse Jr., who was indentured servants. So you had Thomas Hathaway and his wife, Sarah. When the state of America outlawed slavery, it confirmed that the Harriet family were indentured, not chattel slaves. And Amarita Rouse, that's her name. So they call her Minty because her name is Araminta Rouse. Now, Araminta, in the source right here, Harriet Tubman was born Araminta Rouse, Library of Congress, 1868, and it reads, she escaped slavery but returned 13 times to rescue who? Family and friends, not all slaves. Yeah, so she only rescued less than 30 people, maybe 14, less than 20 people. And that's coming from the Library of Congress. And I'm trying to figure out what these big scholars that out here, how y'all missing this when the information is there. And in my book, all of the sources You know, as soon as we write it down, we're gonna source it all the way up. Everything. So it's about like 5 or 6 sources where you can go get. Oh damn, I ain't in there. Yeah, 5 or 6 sources that show exactly what's going on. So she was a part of the Ross family, which was a Scottish line. She had nothing to do with down south. They equate Harriet Tubman story to slaves in the South. Now it was an underground railroad that took place in the South. That was way more beneficial to our people than in the colonies. In the colonies, you had an indentured servant problem. Well, later in the 1800s, you would have a chattel slavery problem, which means that the Indian, the female, she would take on, her and her kids would take on the slavery. You know, they'll take on the status of their mother. And that's where we get chattel slavery. Harriet Tubman herself was an indentured servant. And also, her, as we just seen, her brother and her nephews. So the people that she went back and saved were family members and not random slaves on plantation that she did not know.
Okay. Dane, I want to ask you, in Top Cats, of course, but I want Dane to start out this question.
Yeah, we got Dane shining now. I told him before we went on, I said, hey man, you know, I just came from over there that week, you know. Get the shine on, you running points, just be ready tonight. You know, we want to get you your debut. Make sure you
shout I just let me reiterate something real quick. Anybody that has anything, you know, against what I was saying about Harriet Tubman, I dare you to pick up my book and verify each of my sources that I have in the back of that book. It's called False Heroes, False Hopes. Okay, like I said, everything that I said about her stands until somebody debunk it.
Dane, you know how they'll give us a hero and we'll have our own hero within the grassroots. Who stands out to you as a hero when you research and study history, Dane? Who, Dane, like, this is the motherfucking hero right here?
I got one, big one too. Chief Powhatan.
Say that. Who's that?
Chief Powhatan.
Who's that?
Big Chief Powhatan. And see, man. All right, hold on. Chief Powhatan is the Virginia Indians leader. He did not play no games. In fact, that I have a book getting ready to come out. This is another thing. I mention this really quickly, briefly, because I'm not trying to go into that right now. Because I got some folks
YouTube,
watching.
Stop,
YouTube. Hold on, YouTube. Come on, chill, YouTube. Chill. Don't do that. Let's be friendly tonight, YouTube. I see what you doing, YouTube. That's not me. I see what you doing. Don't do it. Come on, bro. Relax. But yeah, I'm getting ready to put out a documentary and a book on that. But yeah, he's the one that needs to. Them white folks were scared of him. He's the one. That's why they try to give you that Pocahontas story to make believe that he was somebody that he wasn't.
When's this coming out? When you coming up with the documentary in the book?
I'm trying to push that for January's release.
Oh, awesome.
Oh man, come on,
you gotta come
YouTube.
back in January then, Dane. When you drop that, you gotta come back. Dane, Dane. So how do we get into this predicament in the first place with so-called white folks? If we
wasn't really no predicament
here.
There wasn't really no predicament unless, until things got political. That was it. Like once things got political and they started allowing people to vote for presidents, this and
how do we lose
political
power?
Parties that's when things got out of hand.
How do we lose power? Let me say that. How would you say we lost power?
By handing it to foreigners, giving it to foreigners and allowing these foreigners to disenfranchise us by taking our rules and regulations, copying it and making it, differently for them, 1871. So they could, benefit off of their own constitution is what I'm referring to. They created their own constitution looking at ours as an example. What we had prior to that were confederacies. A lot of these tribes, like when you say tribes, or let me say, when you say nations, we had something similar to that, but a lot larger. They were confederations. I'm talking about bands of us were already together. This is what they saw when they got over here. But a lot of fighting happened. They even documented 61 wars in the 1800s alone because it was more than that, because they didn't win every single one of them. So they only count on the ones that they either barely won or won. But it was way more wars than that. I didn't like how they were trying to make our people look like, they were weak. Nah, our people was fighting back, and it took them
No. They I see some of y'all saying that Pocahontas was the granddaughter. No, Pocahontas was the daughter. But again, the story is, wait till we come out with the segments on that, y'all. Y'all gonna see. The story is incorrect. I can tell you that right now. And we'll settle
our
that.
own people against us in order for them to win. Buffalo soldiers, like, as an example. Like, you only an Indian gonna know where Indian located. You can't just knock off one Indian and don't think that a whole group of them gonna be in a mountain somewhere aiming at you already. Yeah, no, they would. Our folks was dangerous in the right way. We were warriors for real. Our folks held it down. There was a lot of wars that happened. It was just unfortunate that we got, cool with some people. What I would like to say is they came with flowers and the guns was in their back pocket. In other words, they got friendly with you and made it seem like everything was cool, but yet they were in it for their own benefit.
So then
does that person in the back.
Does modern day immigration give you flashbacks of what you study in history?
Absolutely. It's still happening. What's happening today was happening back then.
Wow.
They're not even considering it a great migration no more. But anything over 20,000 or more, listen, as far as a population is concerned,
the people,
20,000 or more people will be considered a great migration. Trump said it was 10 million immigrants that were illegal here. If I'm recalling it correctly, that's multiple great migrations. People are not watching. But why you think he's trying to take these benefits away? It's not from our people. It's from the foreigners that's getting it for free.
And we got to remember the Ellis Island, that movement of the Europeans coming over. And it stopped in 1924, the Integration Act, because of World War I. We have to understand that in their documentation, they record 12.5 million YT people coming here. Now, you had a large migration under the Homestead Act. So a lot of homesteaders came from Eastern European nations.
Big time.
They were the white tea people, but from the late 1800s up until 1924, 12.5 million YT European people came here. But if we look in the transatlantic story, they say 12.5 million Africans came here. So they're destiny swapping with us.
Dane, when you said earlier, we are the chosen people, what in particular, when we hear that, because we right now, when we hear that word, there's copycats, and I'm not going to say their names because YouTube strikes pages. They just took down hundreds of pages for people who are going up against but we have copycats that say, we're the chosen people.
I know where you're going.
So what would make...
Why you think they not trying to make us say anything about them? Because they know they wrong. We can't even put the J next to the E or the W without them saying something.
Right.
They know they wrong. They know who the people are. And those chosen people weren't in a totally different landmass. They were here. That's why they got your mind over in Israel. If it was Israel, why they had the man make it? Don't get me started on that. This is a big channel too. We not trying to do that. Don't do it. Don't do it, brother. Not tonight.
They said, all right,
don't do that.
Turn up, Dane. Turn up. This is debut.
Dane came shooting tonight. Dane got a sniper. Dane is shooting. Dane ain't playing. He ain't smiling. Yeah, I fucks with you, Dane. I appreciate that. I appreciate this interview. This is you ain't come to play games tonight.